What if I told you Ray J just dropped a bomb that could shake the Kardashian empire to its core? From secret deals to whispered schemes, the spotlight is now on Kris Jenner, and her response might be even darker than the accusations themselves. Stay tuned, because this story isn't just messy, it's explosive. Make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. Ray J didn't just stir up old drama. He set off a firestorm that no one saw coming. During a live stream, he claimed that the feds are quietly building a RICO case against Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner, and that he himself has been cooperating with investigators. For years, Ray J has hinted at behind-the-scenes corruption, but this was the first time he laid it out as a full-blown criminal conspiracy. His accusation centers on one word: laundering. According to him, the Kardashian empire didn't just rise from a sex tape. It was fueled by shady financial moves, hidden contracts, and money trails that the public never saw. He painted the picture of an enterprise, suggesting that this wasn't the work of one or two people, but a system designed to funnel cash in ways that would never be traced back directly. For viewers watching the live stream, it felt less like gossip and more like the opening act of a courtroom thriller. And what really made the moment explode online was his tone. Ray J wasn't joking, wasn't vague, and wasn't holding back. He directly tied Kris Jenner to the alleged scheme, accusing her of being the mastermind who orchestrated deals and pushed paperwork to make the money flow. While Kardashian and Jenner insiders have stayed silent, the timing of Ray J's claims couldn't have been more damaging. Rumors were already swirling around past controversies, and this accusation injected fresh fuel into the fire. Blogs, forums, and TikTok commentary lit up, dissecting every word he said, speculating on whether federal agencies were actually circling around the family empire. Even without confirmation, the shock value alone was enough to dominate headlines. But as wild as this live stream was, Ray J insisted it was only the beginning, and the next part of the story digs even deeper into the origins of the Kardashian brand. To understand why Ray J's latest accusations hit so hard, you have to go back to where it all started. 2007, when Kim Kardashian and Ray J's infamous tape surfaced and suddenly catapulted Kim into the public eye. For years, the official story was that the tape leaked accidentally and that Kim was simply another victim of an invasive scandal. But Ray J has long claimed that wasn't the truth, and in recent years, he's doubled down, insisting that Kris Jenner herself was behind the scenes, negotiating and approving the release. According to Ray J, the tape wasn't just a publicity stunt. It was the first move in a carefully crafted empire-building strategy. He alleged that contracts were forged, deals were manipulated, and money was channeled in ways that went far beyond what the public imagined. What seemed like an embarrassing moment turned into the launchpad for the Kardashian brand, reality TV dominance, and eventually billion-dollar businesses. But the way Ray J tells it, this wasn't organic success. It was a planned operation with financial strings pulled from day one. Over the years, leaked documents and emails have fueled speculation, with some pointing to inconsistencies in how the deal with Vivid Entertainment, the distributor, was handled. And while Kim has denied any wrongdoing, Ray J insists he has receipts proving Kris Jenner personally reviewed different versions of the tape before deciding which one would maximize profit. To him, that's not just management, it's evidence of a larger scheme to manipulate both money and media. Whether or not the public believes every word, the idea that the Kardashian empire began not with scandal, but with deliberate financial maneuvering has kept the story alive for more than a decade. And if Ray J's latest claims are true, the next layer is even more disturbing. When Ray J brought up money laundering, he wasn't just tossing around buzzwords, he was pointing to the darker side of how fame and fortune can be built. In his telling, the sex tape wasn't just a scandal. It was the start of a system that allowed cash to move in ways most people would never notice. He suggested that deals were structured through shell companies and carefully crafted contracts, letting profits flow in circles before landing back with the Kardashians clean and untraceable. To the average fan, this might sound like conspiracy theory, but the way Ray J laid it out made it sound like a calculated strategy. He claimed that millions made off the tape and subsequent projects were hidden behind entertainment deals, overseas accounts, and paper trails too complicated for the public to ever follow. Even if no hard evidence has been made public yet, just the idea that one of Hollywood's most famous families could be involved in financial tricks added a new edge to the conversation. Analysts and gossip blogs jumped on the claims, breaking down how celebrities often use corporations to protect their brand and money, and how those same systems could be abused if someone wanted to conceal shady profits. What makes Ray J's version especially striking is how he frames Kris Jenner as not just a manager, but the architect of this alleged system. He paints her as the mastermind who figured out how to turn scandal into an empire and controversy into cash flow. And while no court has confirmed these accusations, the weight of Ray J's words has fans and critics alike asking, if there's truth to it, how deep does this go? But before Kris Jenner's reaction entered the spotlight, Ray J's picture of the so-called scheme had already rattled the industry. If Ray J's words lit the match, Kris Jenner's alleged reaction was the gasoline. According to insiders, Kris didn't sit quietly while her name was dragged through the mud. Reports began to surface that she fired back with threats, whether legal, personal, or both. Some say her team has already drafted letters warning Ray J to back down or face massive lawsuits for defamation. Others claim Kris has used her influence in media circles to quietly shut down stories that give Ray J's narrative too much oxygen. Either way, the message was clear. Kris Jenner doesn't take public attacks lightly, especially when they involve her role as the so-called mastermind of the Kardashian empire. What makes this moment even more intense is Kris's history of controlling the narrative. She's been known as the momager who built an empire from scandal, someone who knows how to twist controversy into opportunity. But Ray J's accusations hit differently because they don't just question her business decisions. They paint her as a manipulator of financial systems that could cross into dangerous legal territory. That's not just messy gossip. It's the kind of claim that could threaten the family's billion-dollar reputation. And in typical fashion, Kris has kept her direct responses limited, letting whispers and second-hand reports fill the silence. Some observers see that as a strategy. Project strength, avoid giving Ray J more attention, and handle the rest behind closed doors. But the absence of a clear denial has only fueled speculation online, with fans debating whether her silence means damage control or quiet confidence. Still, if Ray J's goal was to shake Kris Jenner, her alleged threats suggest he hit a nerve. Yet this feud isn't just about two people trading blows. Ray J insists the picture is much bigger than Kris versus him. Ray J has made it clear that he doesn't see this as a personal grudge. It's something much larger. In his words, the situation isn't just about Kim and Kris, it's about what he calls an enterprise. That term isn't random, it's central to how RICO cases are built. To make a case stick, prosecutors have to prove there's more than one person involved in a pattern of activity that looks like organized crime. And Ray J is positioning the Kardashian empire as exactly that. He suggested that lawyers, business managers, and even entertainment executives all played roles in making sure the money kept flowing, the scandals were spun the right way, and the public never saw the strings being pulled. To him, this isn't just a family defending its image. It's a machine built to generate untouchable wealth by bending the rules. Speculation has already spread about who else could be caught up if Ray J's claims were taken seriously. Were certain contracts intentionally structured to conceal profits? Did companies partner with the Kardashians, knowing they were getting more than just a reality TV boost? These are the kinds of questions fueling online debates, with fans and critics trying to connect dots that may or may not even exist. And while Ray J has yet to present the kind of evidence that would hold up in a courtroom, the way he frames it keeps people hooked. Because if true, it wouldn't just shake the Kardashians, it could implicate an entire network of Hollywood power players who profited from the rise of reality TV's biggest dynasty. That's why his accusations are being treated as more than just tabloid noise. And the implications only grow bigger when the focus shifts from speculation to legal reality. When the dust settles, the real question is whether any of Ray J's explosive claims could actually hold up in court. Building a RICO case isn't easy. It requires proving not just bad behavior, but an organized pattern of illegal activity tied to a larger enterprise. That means investigators would need solid evidence like paper trails, financial records, or credible witnesses willing to testify. So far, none of that has been publicly revealed, which makes Ray J's allegations feel more like a bombshell headline than a guaranteed conviction. Still, the mere suggestion of federal involvement is enough to create waves. The Kardashians' legal team has a long history of shutting down lawsuits, silencing critics, and turning controversies into background noise. They've issued blanket denials in the past and leaned on their resources to keep damaging stories from snowballing. In this case, if Ray J pushes forward, they could counter with defamation suits, demands for retractions, or even try to paint him as a bitter ex out for attention. That defense might resonate with some, but others are already questioning whether the silence from Kim and Kris means more than they want to admit. Public opinion is another battlefield entirely. Even without official charges, the idea of money laundering tied to America's most famous reality family has sparked debate, memes, and viral commentary. And once something that sensational is out there, it's almost impossible to put the genie back in the bottle. For Ray J, the next step could be producing receipts, emails, contracts, or documents that shift the story from gossip to evidence. For the Kardashians, the challenge will be keeping control of the narrative they've dominated for nearly 2 decades. Because if this story gains legal traction, the fallout could be massive. Ray J's accusations have reignited one of Hollywood's most infamous stories, dragging the Kardashian empire back under a cloud of suspicion. From his claims of hidden contracts and money laundering to whispers of a RICO investigation, the picture he's painted is far darker than the glossy image the family projects. Whether his words hold up in court or fade as another tabloid storm, the damage is already done. Millions are questioning how the empire was truly built, and Kris Jenner's alleged threats only make the drama more gripping. What started with a scandalous tape has spiraled into a narrative of secret deals, shadowy money, and a fight for credibility. For fans and critics alike, the bigger question is no longer about fame, but about power. How it's gained, how it's protected, and how quickly it can crumble. If Ray J delivers proof, this could become one of the most shocking downfalls celebrity culture has ever seen.